Okay, so, hi. Disclaimer before we get started. I'm going to try to make this video as fast as possible. I do want to say I apologize in advance if you hear like an airplane or like a fighter jet freaking in the background. This area that I'm currently in has a lot of different air activity, so if you hear that in advance, I apologize. Second disclaimer. The second disclaimer I want to make is that if this video seems a little bit sporadic and all over the place, it's because it is. I usually try to script my videos out to give myself a skeleton to follow, so I'm not just kind of floundering when I get in front of the camera, because I get nervous sometimes. But I haven't made a video in it's been 6 months pretty much, and I knew that if I didn't just turn the camera on and start recording, you guys weren't gonna hear from me. So life be lifing sometimes. I am back. I don't have a plan. I don't have anything. This isn't a life update video. This is completely something else. There's been a lot of discourse online about trans women in the past couple of months. And I've been gone, so I haven't really said anything about a lot of different stuff. But today I just kind of wanted to jump in, get my feet wet, and kind of give my opinion about something that's been prevalent on the interspace. If you've been following trans topics online, a big argument happening is whether or not it's gay for like cis men to date trans women. I'm not really sure if this conversation is happening on the other side of the spectrum. For example, is it gay for cis women to date trans men? I don't have any jurisdiction over there, so we're just gonna talk over here. Kind of how I want this video to go. I wanna give my opinion and a little bit of my background, but I also wanna give my partner's opinion because I asked him about this and what he thought being a cis male, and he gave me his opinion, which I thought would be really fun to share with you guys as well. Before I get started, I want to preface this video by saying that these are all my opinions. And honestly, at the end of the day, whether or not somebody deems it gay to date a trans person, it literally boils down to whether or not they look at that trans person as the identity that they're presenting themselves or claiming to be. If you don't see me as the identity that I say that I am, then of course you're gonna think it's gay. It really just boils down to how someone looks at it. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't been in front of like a camera in a long time, and I don't remember how I used to do this so much when I was younger. So if I'm not making eye contact, please forgive me. I just kind of got to get my thoughts together. Even before I started socially transitioning in 2020, I was always feminine. For years, I've had men tell me, oh, I think I like you, or I think I'm attracted to you. Does that make me gay? I'm not really sure where these feelings are coming from or why they're happening, but I have them. Am I gay now? And I used to think the question was funny. I thought it was silly because I was like, what do you mean, are you gay? But I realized that they were serious. For them, this is like groundbreaking realizations that they're making. My opinion on it has always been no, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is because, and this is literally how I would explain it to them, I would say, when you look at me, what do you see? And no jokes in the comments talking about, you look like a man, none of that. Realistically, I would ask them, I was like, when you look at me, when you break down your attraction to me, when you look at me, you don't say, oh, I'm attracted to Jordan. Oh, your muscles is muscling in that t-shirt and your beard looking real thick, my guy. That's not what you're here for. Every time, it's always been something about a quality of mine that reminds them of whatever their type is in women. It's always been a compliment to my femininity. I appreciate your mannerisms, the way that you talk, the way that you look. You look very feminine. You sound feminine. You behave, whatever it is. I said, I like men. Okay, when I see big, broad shoulders and nice, strong arms, when I see facial hair, and those are qualities that are stereotypically found in men. That's what attracts me. So if you're asking yourself as a man, I like girls with soft voices. I like girls that are dainty, or girls that are this, or girls that are that. You have what you like in women, and then you find that in me. So that's how I've always explained it to them. If you ask me the question, as a man, am I gay if I date a trans woman? I think the answer is no. Because regardless of whether you look at trans women as real women or fake women or cosplay, whatever you look at them as, look at the root of why you're attracted to them. If you look at this person and you say, you look like if you walk like a duck, talk like a duck. I'm really hoping this video does not get taken out of context and someone uses this to diminish women's identity down to things like femininity and the way you dress and walk and behave. I really hope that doesn't happen. Moving on, I wanted to talk about my partner. So for those of you that don't know, I am in a relationship, and my partner, he is a cis male. For those of you that don't know what cis means he is a biological male. He was born male, and that's what he identifies as. He and I were having a conversation a couple weeks ago. And I asked him, I said, do you consider yourself gay for being attracted to me as a trans woman? And he said, I wouldn't say that I'm gay. I really don't like that question, but if I had to answer it, I would say being attracted to you as a trans woman makes me bi. And at first I was offended. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, to consider myself a gay man for dating you would be to invalidate your identity that you've developed within yourself and all the work that you've done to affirm that identity in the world around you. You've gotten your ID changed, your friends, your family. You've done all of this work to show up in the world as this person. So to call myself a gay man for being with you is invalidating all the work that you've done up until that point. I said, okay. He goes, but to call myself a straight man is to erase a part of you that makes you who you are. I said, what do you mean? He said, all of the adversities you've experienced, all of the things that you've gone through in life that have gotten you to where you are right now, and arguably that have brought us together, are because of the walk of life that you're on. So to call myself a straight man and completely ignore such a pivotal part of your daily experience is also incorrect. So if I had to answer your question, I would say that I guess it makes me bi. And I asked him, I was like, I'm going to make a video about this, but there are going to be people in the comments that say that you saying that you're bi for dating me is rude and it still invalidates my identity and my experience. And he said, I understand that. He said, but if you wanted to break it down in the most simplest of terms, he said, if we're at a party and we're playing Never Have I Ever, and the question comes up, never have I ever given fellatio. That's the best way that we'll say that. He said, nobody's going to care what the background story is behind it. He said, I just have to put a finger down. What he said was, nobody cares whether it was a man or a trans woman or whoever. They're just going to side-eye me when it comes to sharing drinks from now on. That's just how men get treated in society today. I thought that was hilarious, by the way. I think the reason why this question is so prevalent in society today amongst men who are attracted to trans women is because there's a level of shame that goes with being seen as queer. I guess as a form of affirmation, I'll tell you, it shouldn't matter whether or not people will look at you a certain way for being attracted to someone, because whether you tell people or not, if you're attracted to trans women, you're attracted to trans women. And if you tell nobody else and you leave this earth with only you knowing that, it's still true. So I guess you should ask yourself whether or not you're going to allow yourself to live a life that you want or a life that you don't. And I think something that's very interesting that I ended up explaining to my partner when he and I first started dating, I told him, I said, whether or not you see me as a real woman or a trans woman or whatever kind of woman you see me as, it does not negate the fact that by dating me, we are in a queer relationship. I have life experiences as a trans person. There are things that affect me in my daily life as a trans person that now affect you. These are things that come with the package. You now have to pay attention to these things. This might be a hot take, and I hope you guys don't crucify me for this one. I'm open to discussion. Please don't be mean. I'm wondering if the reason why this is such a big argument, the reason why this argument point is so prevalent right now online, is because as trans people, we're just trying to find a place to belong and be respected. You know what I mean? I wonder if this conversation would be as prevalent if it wasn't socially unacceptable to date trans people or to be queer or whatever you want to describe it as. You know what I mean? I wonder if we would even be having this argument, is it gay to like trans women, if it was just societally okay to date trans women. It wouldn't matter. We are regular people. We're human beings with feelings and favorite colors and favorite foods just like everyone else. And I hope that you find freedom in your authenticity. I hope that one day you are able to date a trans person if that's someone that you find attractive. I don't think it should matter. It's just a person that you find attractive. You like their personality, whatever the case may be. Do that. And then as far as the dolls, I want to say, I hope that any doll watching this video that is fighting hard to be accepted in society, this society especially, that does not want to offer us a seat at the table, to take pride in who you are and your identity, and have your own seat at your own table. I always tell people, ever since I became comfortable with it myself, I always say, now I don't care who calls me what, because I have built a community of people that see me how I want to be seen and that treat me how I want to be treated. So I don't care anymore. It used to like make me upset when people in public would look at me and they'd be like, as if I was doing something wrong. But having a small circle of people surrounded, being surrounded by a small group of people that are just like, they call me the pronouns I want to be called, they treat me, I am able to walk through the world, even if it's just my own little world, how I want to walk through the world. I think that's very important. So that's a piece of advice for everyone. It's build community that affirms you. Yeah. Does being attracted to trans women make you gay? Depends on who you ask. That's the best way to put it. Depends on who you ask. But I'll say, shouldn't matter. If you like trans people, like them. If you don't like trans people, don't like them. I don't know what else to say. I think there's a deconstruction that has to happen. Wow. Too bad you trans, though. It'll never work out. And I'd be like, you can't take your compliment back. That's not how that works. If you saw me and you thought I was attractive and then you find out that I'm transgender, you can't say, oh, you're not attractive to me anymore. Or I guess technically you can say whatever you want to, but the sentiment is still there. Thought I was pretty. I know I said I wasn't going to do like a life update, but I guess I'll just throw one in here so I can kind of get the responsibility off of me for those of you giving me the side eye, trying to figure out where I've been. I had a lot going on in my personal life that I wanted to kind of sit down and dig through, and I've gotten a chance to do that over the past 6 months. I've made some executive decisions about how I want to proceed, and I am currently putting those things in motion. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hang out with little old me. I don't know how many of you are still here, but for those of you that's still here, thank you for sticking around. I do plan on making more videos soon. Yeah. If you have any questions about anything that was said in the video, like I said, it was a little bit all over the place, so there may be things that I didn't explain all the way. So if you have any questions about anything that was said in the video, or you'd like to share your opinion, feel free to do so in the comments. If you are mean or rude, then I will block you, because I don't have space in my life for senseless negativity. It's okay to disagree with me. That's fine. but I don't want you calling me a slur in my comments. I don't have to tolerate that here, at least. Yeah. And whenever he watches this video, because he will, I hope that I did you justice in what you were trying to explain to me. And if I didn't, please let me know and I will correct what it is that you were trying to say. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in my next one. Peace and love, you guys.